My name is Sharina Johnson. I'm one of the undergraduate academic advisors in the School of Public Affairs, along with Mr. Eddie Bebley. He's also an undergraduate academic advisor, and the director is Dr. Rochelle Jones. And we also have Ms. Dee Brown with us from the financial aid. Ms. Dee Brown is with us again, and she's going to go over the exit counseling, the default prevention, and the financial aid contacts.
Good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. As Ms. Johnson said, my name is Dee Brown, and I'm the coordinator for the Default Prevention Program on our campus at Texas Southern University. My primary role is to make sure that students such as yourself who are graduating, incoming freshmen, understand what your rights and responsibilities are because you borrowed money from the federal government. With that being said, the U.S. Department of Education requires all students who have received student loans while attending any college or university to complete what you call exit loan counseling. That can be completed online at studentaid.gov. Due to our current climate, the situations that's going on with COVID-19, we are doing that a little different. I know you guys are aware that we often have sessions or classroom sessions that you would have to register for and attend. Well, this semester, meaning for the summer, we have canceled all those sessions right now. We are asking that the students go online to complete the exit counseling at the studentaid.gov. That information is sent to us electronically. If you should have any questions regarding the information that you see online, because it's going to talk about a lot, payment options, it's going to talk about basically what you borrowed, different repayment options, things that are available to you. And if you should have any of those questions regarding that information that you're given online, if you see the screen where it gives my email address, myself and Ms. Shaw, who is the officer. She basically is my assistant and helps me throughout the process. So if you should have any questions, send us emails. We're working virtually. So we are responding to emails as soon as we actually get them. If you need us to give you a call, we definitely would do that as well. Remember, any student that has received student loans while attending Texas Southern University is required by the federal government to complete the exit loan counseling, okay? Now, with that being said, if you did not receive student loans while attending Texas Southern University, it is not necessary for you to complete student loans, the exit counseling at studentloans.gov, okay? Are there any questions regarding that? Okay. Keep in mind, to definitely, we'll make sure we stay connected with you. That's what the default prevention team does. We're making sure our students are aware of their rights and responsibilities. We're making sure they understand what's expected once you graduate and separate from the university. So if you should have any questions regarding your debt, how to manage that debt, that's what the default prevention team is here for. Now, I know that most of you are summer graduates and there's some fall graduates. Well, once we're back on campus, we will start to host sessions online via Zoom. Just basically informational sessions that you can definitely register for just to get the information and knowledge, okay? So if you want to talk to someone, in the fall or even the summer, we're going to have these sessions out there for you guys. Unfortunately, we just haven't had the opportunity to set them up because we're still trying to filter through everything that's going on to see how it's going to better work for you as a student, okay? So congratulations. If you should have any questions, that's my email address and also my assistant's email address, and we are here to serve you.
Okay, the leadership in the School of Public Affairs, the Dean's Office, where you're going to, signatures are required on the graduation application. You're going to need the Dean's signature. The Dean is Dr. Kia. He's on the fourth floor of the Public Affairs Building, along with the interim associate dean, Dr. Awo. They're both in the dean's office on the fourth floor of the Public Affairs Building.
And if I could, just actually welcome Dr. Awo on the call. He is on the call. Dr. Awo, do you have any comments that you would like to provide to the students during this workshop?
I say good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for at least attending this, if I may call it, mini workshop for graduation protocols. As already indicated by Ms. Johnson, when you bring, if the CDC guidelines permit, when we return on the 15th to our building, you bring it to the fourth floor, but it's unlikely that we're going to be there until the 15th of this month, which is down the road. But the best bet would be to scan everything to us, CCing Director Jones as well as Ms. Higgins in the dean's office, so that the application materials can be logged, and I will review and sign them. But be sure that the chairs of your respective departments signed off before anything gets to the dean's office. That's all I can offer at this present time, Director Jones.
Yeah, we'll be providing some more information in a few minutes about the protocol for how you will get your signatures. We just wanted you to know who the school leadership was so that you can put a face with a name, and also put, contact information with a name to know this is who you will get certain signatures from. But we'll guide you through the process for how your application will flow. Ms. Johnson, you're welcome to proceed.
Oh, okay. So here are the interim chairs information for each department. The Administration of Justice Department, the interim chair is Dr. David Baker, and you see his email and phone number there. The interim chair for political science is Dr. Adams, and his information is there as well. And for the grad students, the interim chair is Dr. Sherry Smith, and her information is listed here. So these are the documents that's required for filing for graduation. Of course, we need the application for graduation. We're going to need a degree plan, your declaration of major and minor. Most likely the major has already been declared, but if the minor has not been declared, then that form would need to be included in your packet. And we will also need the unofficial transcript, which you can get from your My TSU web account. The degree evaluation report is the degree works, course substitution forms if applicable, and if you've been given permission to take courses out of residency, that would need to be included in your packet. And authorization for grade change and removal of incomplete, those would need to come from the department to the registrar's office. So it would not necessarily be included in your packet.
And that's the undergraduate application process. We also have the Mr. Bebley will now take over, and he'll talk about the actual documents that are required for the undergraduate application.
Director Jones, if I might interject here, for all grade change authorization and removal of incomplete, they must go through the chairs and to my attention.
So just as a reiteration, if you have an authorization for grade change that's pending or removal of incomplete, that has to be submitted to the chairs, the department chair, respective department chair, and then it will go to the dean's office. Once it's at the dean's office, it will be reviewed, signed, and then it's transmitted to the registrar's office for actual changing. So there's a couple of steps that go along with grade changes. So for those of you who do have, grades that you need changed or are waiting to be changed, or eyes that you need removed, you want to keep that in mind specifically when you're waiting for degree conferral. You want to try to get those done as soon as possible. If there's outstanding work that needs to be done, you want to try to make sure you can take care of that as soon as possible, because it does take some time to get the grade or grade change or the I removed. Mr. Beverly?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Next, we'll go through all the different pages that are a part of your packet. That's each individual form that's part of your graduation packet. The first one is your application. When you're filling this out in person, just be mindful that it's a triplicate form. And so you'll make sure if you're writing this, if you're taking notes or anything else, try not to write on it. We will provide, if you need one, a little cheat sheet to help you fill in the accurate information. The one thing I will focus on is make sure the top is correct. The way it's written on the top part of the application is how it's going to appear on your diploma. So if there's anything dealing with spelling or anything like that, you make sure it's correctly spelled on this application. Okay, the next one will be your degree plan. We normally would have two, unless there's a change. There's usually a blank one, and then one that we will complete. You will complete this with your advisor. I know some of you students are excellent and you've completed it, but we will usually complete one with you together, so we will both sign and review everything that's needed. Usually we'll put it on the front, but if the registrar office wants it, we usually will do on the back side. So you can fill one on the front side of the back side. If you no longer have that degree plan, don't worry, we have copies and we will print out a copy, and we're starting from scratch. So if you don't have it on you right now or at the time of the application, don't worry about it. This is the unofficial transcript. Some students like to go order an official one. We do not need an official one. You can get this easily from your TSU portal. Once you log into your portal, you'll see unofficial transcript around the bottom, I think under student services. You click on that and you just click print. We usually print in our office, so if we're in office and students are allowed in the office, we can print those out if you're having trouble printing out this one and also trouble printing out the next one. After your transcript, you're going to have what's called, it's your degree works, but on your application, it's going to say degree evaluation report. So the degree evaluation report is your degree works. And I know some students say, well, we really don't use degree works. This is just part of your packet. So it's not to use it to review, it's just part of your packet. So when you log into your TSU portal, you click on degree works. The screen that you'll have to click to access it is save as PDF. The save as PDF, when you click on that, that'll open up your degree works, and then you're able to print out the degree works. After this one, now this is your course substitution. This is one of those that only applies to those that's actually done one. Course substitution is not the same as, well, as an elective, or if you have options, meaning you took sociology 158 instead of psychology 131. No, that is not this. If you have no idea what this course substitution form is, then you're the one that, and I would not worry about it, because this would have to have been discussed between the advisor, the student advisor, and possibly Ms. Jones. So this is something that would have been discussed between student and advisor before you've done a substitution form. So if you have not heard of it, or not know what we're referring to, then at this time I would not concern myself with it. After that is permission to take course out of residency. This is for students, seniors who are within their last 30 hours to graduate. So if you're within your last 30 hours and for some reason you cannot take a class on TSU's campus, and you say, for example, you found it at a community college or another four-year school, you would have to get permission first from the department. And if you look at the bottom, you'll see the approvals of the chair and the dean. So once you discuss that with either me, Ms. Johnson, or Ms. Jones, then you can go, then this option is available. But you cannot just say, well, I'm just going to go take Math 133 at ACC because I needed to graduate. You have to first, it has to become an option, and then you'd have to get approval from the department chair and the dean. Now, usually this is done prior to your packet. Go back real quick, Ms. Jones. When you do this, because you're usually taking this the semester you graduate. So when this is done, you would have, it's very important on the student to submit their official transcript to the registrar. That's because the registrar, when they see this, they may see the form, but they will not have the transcript at that time. So if you're doing it the same semester you're graduating, it's imperative that you get that official transcript and send it to the registrar's office. After this one, the next form is the authorization of grade change. This is not done with the advisor. We do not do anything with grade changes. So this is a form that you would probably be working with between the chair and the dean, and of course the teacher. So this is a form that is usually done, we say on the fourth floor. So if you having a grade change issue or concern, that's usually going to be between the teacher, the dean, and the chair. Now, grade change is not the same as an incomplete, but if you have an incomplete, incompletes have to be resolved before you graduate. All incompletes. Now, if that incomplete is not part of your major or minor, then it would not have the effect on your graduation packet. But if it is, for example, if you took AJ 300 and you got an I, and you said, well, I don't want, that's an elective, so I'm going to take AJ 333 instead, we use the 333. But if you took, let's say, AJ 100 and got an I, then you will have to work with the teacher to get the I completed. Now, Ms. Jones may have to intervene, but I believe they now have is a semester or a year to resolve an I. I don't know.
You have 1 year to resolve an I, and generally what happens, because this is the grade form that they have, but there's another form that they have just issued about incomplete, and it's more detailed. Because it's something that really the professor and the department chairs and deans view, I really didn't include it in this presentation. But the professor has the preference to direct when you should submit the grade, or when you should submit your coursework that may be missing, to make sure you remedy the incomplete. They can give you up to a year. They could say you have 3 months to complete the work, but it's up to the professor in their academic freedom to be able to decide when you should turn that work in. So if they give you 3 months and they say, okay, you have until 3 months from now to complete the work, and you don't, you either have the choice to go back to the professor to ask for an extension, or the professor can say no, and they can actually go ahead and issue you an F. Because any incompletes that are on your record that are not changed by the year, up to a year, or the deadline that the professor provides you, they can be changed to an F. So just keep that in mind with regards to the incompletes.
Okay, so just remember, this is the last part of the undergraduate packet. Normally, if we were in a regular setting in our classroom, this process usually takes somewhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what the student needs. Now, during this time, we know if things have changed. So if we're having to do this online, just be mindful of the time that it will take to get it done compared to when we were in person. I know Ms. Jones is going to probably go over the changes on how we do the packet, but just want to let you know, that's how long it usually takes to do a packet. So if you're emailing us to do one, just be mindful of that when we're working together.
So just giving you an update on when the deadlines are for the applications. For undergraduates, for summer of 2020, your application is due on Thursday, July the 9th. That's an absolute deadline. So what's different about this process is that now we're going to have to do the entire process online. We will not be doing anything in person. While we will return to work on Monday, June the 15th, the office will still be closed to the public, but we will be helping you to administer and complete your applications online. So what I need for you all to understand, to reiterate what Mr. Bebley was saying, is that generally it takes about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to complete an application. So it's going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to need you to provide some patience with regard to how we're able to assist you with getting your signatures, because you're not coming to campus. We will be running this through signature protocol, going to the respective offices, either doing a digital signature or an in-person signature. We will have a process set up internally that will assist you with getting your signatures. Your application for undergraduates is $50. And what's going to be different this time about your application is that you won't actually come to campus to pay the $50. What will happen is once your application is complete, we'll be compiling a list of students who have a complete application on file with us, and there's nothing outstanding with it. Once that happens, a list of names will be sent to the student accounting office, and we will have your application fee added to your account. This is for the undergraduate applications. We will have the $50 added to your account, so you'll be able to log into the online payment system to pay the $50 without actually having to come on campus. Additionally, what's different about this application process and also moving forward is that for undergraduate applications, you will no longer submit your application to the registrar office yourself. We will take the responsibility of filing it for you. So when you complete your application, all the signatures are obtained. The Office of Student Support Services will be retaining your application for you, and we will file it on your behalf. What we're doing different is to compile all of the applications so that we can ensure record keeping, we can ensure accuracy, and avoid issues and errors, because we have had some in the past. We don't want that to proceed, not necessarily with our office, but just in the everyday shuffle, hustle and bustle of pushing paper, we need to make sure we ensure accuracy. And so from this point on, applications filed will be filed with our office first, and then we will proceed and collectively submit one packet of all of the applications for a respective term to the registrar's office. Now, for graduate students, your situation will be slightly different. Let me go back one second. For people who are submitting an application in fall 2020, just note that your application deadline is Monday, October the 26th, 2020, and the same for the undergraduate students during this period. We will be collecting your application for you and submitting one document to, or one group of documents to the registrar's office for that same term as well. The process will not change with regard to how they will be submitted. Now, for the graduate applications, the graduates, your deadlines are the same. You have for summer 2020, your deadline is Friday, July the 9th, 2020. For fall 2020, your application deadline is Monday, October 26th. Now, there are some differences in your fees for what you will pay for your application. If you're a master's degree candidate with a non-thesis option, your application fee is $50. If you're a master's candidate with a thesis option, your application fee is $65. And then for those doctoral candidates, your application fee is $75. Now, with regard to your application submission, the difference in how we handle the undergraduates versus the graduates is because your graduate students are housed within certain departments. You will need to contact your respective department about the protocols and procedures for submitting your applications to the graduate school, because it will be conducted online, but your respective graduate program director, program coordinator, they're having processes and procedures in place to assist you with getting your application submitted. Now, what we do want you to know is that your financial aid process for this entire thing, as Ms. Brown mentioned, is different. You're not going to be going physically to financial aid to do your financial aid counseling. You're going to do it online at studentaid.gov. When we conclude this seminar, we'll be sending out to all the attendees the documents that are required and some supplemental information to help you with doing your exit counseling online and how that will work. So we will help you in that regard, but with regard to submitting your actual application to the graduate school, you want to make sure that you contact your department, whether that's your chair, your program director, or your coordinator about how to submit your actual application, because the process is going to be online, but they may have specific preferences that they need for you to follow with regard to making timely submissions. So just keep those items in mind. And for the graduate applications for summer, these are the tentative deadlines and clearance time limit that they provided. You want to make sure that you're following somewhat. They didn't really edit this, but you want to make sure that when the semester ends for the summer session for summer 2020, that you have provided all of the necessary documents to the graduate school so that there is no delay in your degree conferral. Because there is a conferral window, and if you're missing something and your conferral is not clear by the conferral window closing, which would be on, according to this schedule, Wednesday, August the 19th, you will have issues, and they possibly could say your degree will not be conferred because you're missing something or something was not completed. So you just want to make sure that you adhere to these timelines and make sure you stay within that conferral window. You have about 2 weeks between the end of a term and the conferral ending window for you to get whatever you have issues clear so that you can have your degree finalized. This is the timeline, the clearance timeline for the fall. You want to make sure that by Monday, December 21st, 2020, if you're applying for fall 2020, that any documents that need to be submitted are done so that you can have your degree timely conferred. If you have questions or need to schedule an appointment, we are available virtually as well as on phone and email. Myself, you can email me at rochelle.jones@tsu.edu. I will be back in the office this upcoming Monday. However, if you need to reach me before then, you are welcome to call my office number. It will, if you leave a message, you have to leave a message though. If you leave a message, it will send the message to my email. I'll be able to download it, listen to it, and I can give you a call back, or I can return your call with an email. We can also set up a virtual face-to-face appointment, and we can talk about the concerns that you have virtually. We generally use the Blue Jeans app, so that's available as well. Mr. Eddie Bebley is our academic advisor and counselor for our undergraduate students. He can be reached at eddie.bebley@tsu.edu, and his telephone number is also listed, 713-313-7202. His number, if you leave him a message, goes to his email. Miss Sharina Johnson, another academic counselor advisor for our undergraduates, her email is sharina.johnson@tsu.edu, and her number 713-313-6730. If you leave her a message, it will go to her email. She'll be able to retrieve it. And I didn't mention my number, but it's 713-313-4886. Now, upcoming dates. So we're in this era of COVID-19, and just some things are just uncertain. However, we're going to give you information with the anticipation that there will be a commencement for you to participate in. As of now, ordering announcements and regalia would be through the bookstore. I can provide you with that number. As we get closer to those dates, that would be 713-313-7030. That's the number to the bookstore. You also can order announcements in regalia through our official vendor, Herff Jones. If you go onto the World Wide Web to their website, there's some search functions that allow you to look up the university, and then it will proceed to show you what regalia is available for your respective degree. If you're a bachelor's, master's, or a doctoral candidate, all of that information is listed. There are options to order announcements as well as other items. Tentatively, we will be having a fall 2020 graduation reception. Again, in light of COVID, we are uncertain about things, but this is tentative for December the 11th, 2020 at 6:30. So those are that upcoming dates that you can note. Are there any questions? I think I did get some questions, so let me go to the questions that I received. So I got a question from someone. It says, what if there's an I near a course on the transcript and there's a specific letter grade that has been placed? So what the person who's asking this question, they're referring to their transcript, your unofficial transcript, where it shows you got a grade, but next to it, you'll see that you have an I or an E. What that means is that you took a class, and you may have taken the class more than once, but you took a class, and if there's an E next to it, that means that class grade is being excluded from your GPA calculation and your GPA. If there's an I next to the grade, it's going to mean that grade is being included into your GPA calculation. And that's important for people. Let's say, you had a bad semester and you took a class and you failed it. Well, that grade initially is going to be included. That F will be included into your transcript. But then let's say you bounce back and you took the class the next semester and you received an A. Well, what will happen is you'll see an E next to the F you received the previous semester, and then you'll receive an I next to the A for the current semester to show that, yes, the new grade that you took is being calculated, because generally it's the last grade of record that is used on your transcript to say you fulfilled degree requirements. So another question was asked. It says, if I no longer live in Houston, do I have to return to campus to complete the graduation application in order to obtain signatures? And the answer is no. This process will be online. So that's what we were mentioning earlier about just really appreciating everyone exhibiting patience during this time, because we're going to have to literally page by page piece your application together. That means getting signatures on substitutions, on declaration of major and minor forms, on your actual application, on your degree plans. All of those documents that require signatures, we're going to have to retrieve them. And so it will take some time, because in addition to graduation application process time, people are also doing other things to get ready for the semester. We have school starting on August 24th, so there are a lot of different things that are moving pieces that are happening at one time. And so we just do need you to work with us to exhibit patience, but we will work with you to get your applications timely submitted. You also need to remember that once your application is submitted, we will send notice to student accounting to add the fee to your account. So you should be expecting to pay that as soon as your application is submitted. Because specifically, the registrar's office will not want to process your application for graduation unless they look in the system, in the platform, the banner platform, to see that your application fee has been paid on your account. So you want to make sure that that's something, a step that you don't miss. And also a note from Ms. Brown for financial aid, that they're asking everyone to complete exit counseling even if you completed it before. So you want to make sure that you do those things just to make sure you're on the safe side. Yeah. So this is a question that Ms. Davis asked. If I previously completed the exit counseling but didn't actually graduate, do I need to complete the counseling again? And that answer is yes, you do need to complete the exit counseling again.
Ms. Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I hope I didn't miss it. The students who were going to graduate in the fall and they already completed the packet that was in our office before the pandemic, they have to
Mhm.
start over and do everything correct, or can we continue where they left off?
We can continue where they left off. We'll be able to convert those documents over to digital, um, and we can continue where we left off. There's no need for them to complete anything over again, especially if the packet was complete. There's no need. They will need to do the exit counseling again, and then they will need to get the fee added to their account. But I mean, they would just basically be in that end stage of the application process for us.
Dr. Jones,
Yes, Mr. Yabark, what's going
uh,
on?
one quick question.
Uh-huh.
So, if students had applied for spring 2020 and paid for the application fee, but some of them did not graduate because they still were enrolled in classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they have to apply for summer 2020. So, when they do that, do they have to pay again, or is there anybody they need to contact about that
No.
application fee?
So you get one time to D&Q. If you do not qualify for graduation in the previous term that you applied, meaning let's say you apply spring 2020, and then you find out, okay, I need to take an extra class, I need to come back, I'm going to graduate instead in the summer of 2020. Your application fee is moved to the next semester of application. Let's say, for example, you D&Q for spring 2020, you decide you're not going to apply for summer 20, you're going to go ahead and apply for fall 2020. In that instance, also, you can move your application fee that you paid to the next semester. You get one time to kind of not qualify, and then you're required to pay again. So let's say that you you D&Q'd for spring 20, you had paid the fee, you applied for summer 20, and then you didn't qualify, and then you were like, okay, I want to apply for fall 2020. Well, if you apply for fall 2020, that's considered your third application. You would be required to apply again or pay
Gotcha.
again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
no problem. Are you only able to move your application fee once within the same year only? It's not necessarily within the same year. It's just you get one time to D&Q until you have to pay again. So let's say that you D&Q'd for spring 20 and then you don't apply again until fall 21. I mean, based on what we've been told and the procedure, they still will allow you to use that fee from previous because you didn't reapply again until fall 21. You haven't used that one time until fall 21. Well, I want to be the first to say thank you to everybody who attended this call, but also to congratulate you on your approach to graduation. It's not an easy feat. We've had a lot of ups and downs, COVID-19 being one of them. But I do want to commend you on your perseverance and enduring and just keeping steadfast to the race because this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. But you're going to get there, and we're hoping that we can do all we can to assist you to get there. I would hope, though, that those of you who are an undergrad would be looking into graduate school, and you would consider TSU for your graduate school career academic continuance. And those of you who are continuing graduate school, don't forget to seek out our PhD programs. We do have programs within our school that could possibly be of benefit to you. So definitely seek those out. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, Dr. Awo, do you have anything else? Ms. Johnson or Mr. Beverly or Ms. Brown, do you have any comments?
I commend all of you for participating in the seminar and congratulations again to our future graduates and may everyone continue to stay safe.
I wish you all a great day and
Same
thank
to
you for
you.
joining us. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
everyone.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye, everyone.